thing about Bhakti is, if we look on the altar, closest to our right side, all the way on our far right, is Radharani. And if you were to ask, who is Radharani? The most simple answer is God. So who's standing next to her? It's Krishna. Who's he? It's also God. And then you ask, well, who's standing next to the both of them? Like Guru Chandra. Who's that? Also God. And then even off the altar, but on his own station, you have Nitai. And so then the simple question is, who's that? God! Come on! God! Yes! Also God. And so then it kind of seems like you Bhakti yogis have a lot of gods. But really, what's happening is you're seeing divinity manifest in a way that is intrinsically, intimately, individualistically dear to every single spirit soul. And so what we hear is that there's a form of Krishna that is specifically for each of you. And then we celebrate by blowing a conch. There's a form of divinity for each of you. Literally, each of you. Everyone can go home with a form of God tonight. Okay, spoiler alert, he's been in your heart the whole time. So you already had him. But now we're making a formal introduction. Right? So before you leave here, make a formal introduction with the Lord in your heart. Lord in your heart, this is me, Lord in my heart. Wow. And then you both will become friends. And one of my most favorite spiritual mentors, spiritual uncles, spiritual well-wishers, Seshanandan Swami recently made a post, and the quote was, "There will never be anything more important in life than reestablishing our relationship with the Supreme Person." So I have Nitai, or I belong to Nitai instead of him belonging to me. And he is a person whose heart is on fire with compassion. As Ananta was saying, he would go all the places that nobody else would go. And he prided himself on that, which meant that no one else really wanted to go out with him on door-to-door preaching, because he would go to all the places that nobody wanted to go. And so you would look, and you would see, like he said, a bar. And people would somehow or other, in their drunken state, enjoy dancing in the Kirtan. Like you ever go out on Harinam on the street and you see people, and then some random person's like, "Oh, I like you guys!" And then they do a little bit of that. It's kind of like that, but 500 years ago. So they probably said it in Bengali. And Nitai would kind of look at the bar like, aha. And they all knew when he got that twinkle in his eye, like, no, but maybe yes, no, yes, definitely. And so then he would go, and these are the people who want to be my friends. All they have is an appreciation for the chanting of God's names. And I was just reading yesterday, whether you have always been attracted to this Bhakti Yoga, or whether it's recent and you just found out about it yesterday, or this is your first time and just in the last 45 minutes you decided, wow, there's something really good about this. Krishna's heart is captured. Whether you found out 30 years ago or found out just 30 minutes ago, that doesn't matter to Krishna. So Nitai is the mercy, compassionate manifestation. So super compassionate that there were two drunks. Anybody take a drink today? I know, it's a really weird question. No? Or at least nobody's admitting to it? No? So then you're better than these two guys that Nitai came in contact with. They also did a whole bunch of other things, which if anybody had taken a drink, I would go to the next level. We don't need to do that. They did a whole bunch of other things that we can't talk about because trigger warnings and content alerts, you know? And right, so I'm trying to, it's a safe space. So they were so incredibly drunk at all times that they were chasing those who were doing Kirtan. And finally they came in contact with Nitai. And they said, who are you? I said, my name is Avadut, which means that he is transcendentally a little crazy. Literally, that's what it means. He's just a little bit outside of everything that's normal. Normal's here, Avaduts are here. So he said, my name is Avadut. And I just think that you should chant Hare Krishna. And so they started to yell curses at him, and then they chased him for a very, very long time. But they were a little bit overweight, the drinking. And and so then they couldn't chase him for very long. And finally, he went back to Gauranga, who we are currently offering flowers to. He went back to Gaurachandra. Gaurachandra said, well, what happened? Who are these people? Well, Jagai and Madhai. Everyone's afraid of them. They rob people in broad daylight. Nitai was ecstatically happy about this. All of the other devotees were completely scared. Why would we go and preach to them? He says, but if I can get them to chant the holy name, then forever, for the rest of time, everyone will know how merciful my Gaurachandra is. Because that was all that Nitai wanted. So he went back again. He tried again. And as he was trying again, this Madhai, because Jagai and Madhai were kind of like cousin brothers, Madhai got so upset that he picked up, anybody know what an amphora is? Any like archaeology geeks? No? So an amphora, for Greek and Roman history, they used to have these big wine vases, but they were huge, like half the size of myself. And so they would store all the wine in these big amphoras. So it's a pot vase, kind of big like that. And they had big broken pieces. So Madhai picks up a piece and hurls it at Nitai, and it hits him in the head. And Nitai begins to bleed. And all of the devotees are very upset. And they run to go and find Gauranga. And Nitai says, it does not matter that you hit me. I don't care. I have no, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that no matter what else you do from this moment on, just chant the holy name, please. Hit me again if you want to. He started to come towards Madhai, which freaked Madhai out, because what do you do to a person who you've hit and they're now advancing upon you? Hit me again, no problem. Hit me 1,000 times, but just chant the holy names. Nitai never got angry. Gaurachandra, however, got extremely, supremely, transcendentally angry. So dear was Nitai that Lord Gauranga called for his Sudarshan Chakra, which if anybody knows what that is, it's like the coolest weapon that has ever been created in all of creation. It is sentient, and so you can't run away from it because it can follow you, because it thinks, and it's a person, and it can do all kinds of mystical things. And so he calls for this chakra. And these two, Jagai and Madhai, are thinking, this is the end of us. And no one can calm down Lord Chaitanya, and finally, Lord Nityananda grabs him around the waist. Oh my Lord, I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. If this somehow gets them to chant the holy name, that's all that I could ever want. And so Lord Gauranga finally was appeased. He said, from this day on, never do this again. Ever. And Jagai, he was willing to forgive, but Madhai said, absolutely not. Madhai said, well, whatever we both have done, we've done together. So whatever mercy you give him, you should also give me, because we should get mercy together. Lord Gauranga said, absolutely not. Because Jagai, did not hit my Nitai. You, however, have performed a deed that I cannot forgive. Absolutely not. I refuse to forgive him. And finally, after much back and forth, Lord Nityananda begged Mahaprabhu, oh my Lord, this time you've not come with any weapons. Krishna has weapons, so many others have weapons, Ram has weapons. You don't have any weapons. Your weapon is the holy name. You haven't come to extinguish demons. You've come to change their demoniac hearts, to clean out all of the tendencies that we see. And in Bhagavad Gita, it gives a list of demoniac tendencies. Among them are doubt, fear, self-loathing, which, incredible. Anybody ever think about that? Our self-doubt and self-loathing is a demoniac tendency. So Lord Gauranga and Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have come to clean out all of those demoniac tendencies. Whether you go along willingly or unwillingly, there's no saying no to them. Also, they're really, really handsome. So sweet. So Nita is here to be the most compassionate person ever. And to add to it, after that, Jagai and Madhai became wonderful devotees. And they went and they started cleaning all of the bathing ghats. So in India, they have many, many places on the banks of the river where you can bathe. And so they would bathe on the ghats, and they would clean all of them, make sure they were incredibly spotless. And they would perform service for everybody that they had previously been robbing and performing assaults upon, and all kinds of things. Lord Chaitanya, he told them, he said, if anyone is my devotee, forgive them this moment and never speak about their past activities ever again. So how incredible is that? Not only does God say, forgive everybody, he says, I'm not even going to hold a grudge. I don't even want you to talk about it anymore. If you are my dear devotee, never mention it again. So this is the mercy of Gauranga and Nityananda. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. So this is a little thing that we do. I say Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Everybody else says Hari Bol, but at the top of your lungs, as though we are clearing out every demoniac tendency in there, starting with the self-doubt. Yeah. So try again. Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol.
Jaya Gaurachandra